Hey guys, it's Ryder, a bit of an impromptu video here as the Switch 2 just got revealed in a trailer. That is the final name they're using, and I wanted to give some thoughts on what we saw in that trailer, along with some other stuff related to the Switch 2. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. I'm not going to go into any of the alleged specs or whatever, because as I've said, I've been kind of actively trying to avoid any leaks and rumors or mentioning them here. So I'll go based off of what I can for sure say. The first notable difference we can see here is what I believe to be a charging port on the top side of the system, along with the one on the bottom side. Any tech nerds can correct me on any of these if I'm wrong. A nice little convenience thing. I've seen some people talk about how they wanted that, and it brought up a nice point that will now allow you to charge the thing while using the kickstand, at least without having to mess with some things in order to make it work. Speaking of the kickstand, there's been a change to the design of it, rather than the small plastic thing that breaks off after one use on the launch Switch model, and the actually somewhat effective kickstand on the OLED. This one's more like a U-shaped bar. I'll have a video point to give you an idea of what I mean when saying that. But it seems as though the thing with this kickstand is that's going to allow you to slant your system way further than the kickstands on Switch 1 were capable of. Next up, let's move on to the Joy-Cons for Switch 2. The biggest difference is probably the C button, as I've seen people calling on the right side Joy-Con, which I'm guessing has something to do with the C that you can see on that Joy-Con. There's also a little hole here, and which is purpose will be discussed later. Along with that, there seems to be another hole just to the left of it. What that's for, I'm not necessarily sure right now. It could be connected to the big hole to the right to make things work. And also, a pretty big change, the shoulder buttons on the Joy-Cons are way bigger for the Switch 2. Really good change, in comparison to the tiny shoulder buttons we had on the original Switch. And this is another, it might just be me thing, but the buttons also seem to be slightly different. Like they might have a different feel when pressing them, like a more clicky feeling, if you get what I mean. Lastly, there's the control sticks, which have this little colored padding around them. What this is meant to do right now, I'm not sure, but they did show the control stick spinning, so I'm confident it means something. I hope that some of these changes help to fix Joy-Con drift issues. It would really suck to deal with that all over again, but let's move on. With the Joy-Cons discussed, we see that those little holes on the Joy-Cons are to help pull the Joy-Cons to the system itself, like a magnet. This was a commonly discussed talking point of the Switch 2 leaks that I wasn't able to avoid, and so seeing confirmation on that is nice. And they seem to be pushing this as the big differentiating point from the original Switch, as they have the Joy-Cons locked to the system when revealing the name Switch 2. I think the name is fine. I think it's better than our names I'm seeing like Super Switch, which I think fall into the same sort of trap as Wii to Wii U, where some people may just think it's an upgraded Switch 1. So as expected based on insider info, this reveal was very late on games, but we did see one game, and especially based on Switch game sales, was probably the only game they needed to show to secure a million or so pre-orders of the system right away, which was the new Mario Kart. We see gameplay on a track, I'm going to presume it's called Mario Bros. Circuit based on the massive sign in front of the starting line, and we see the new visuals for this game, and oh boy, it's certainly a difference. They seem to be going for a much more cartoony style with this one. Not the biggest fan of it right now, but it may just be a matter of it'll take time to get used to it. We then see the new dock for Switch 2, or at least the front of it. We will probably learn more about that in due time. Lastly, we get reiterated the fact that Switch 2 is backwards compatible, but not just physically, but digitally as well. There are some exceptions, though if I had to guess what those were right now, they may be smaller games or third-party titles. I think most notable Switch 1 first-party titles will be able to be played on Switch 2. Then we get told that there will be a Nintendo Direct that gives more information on Switch 2 on April 2nd, so mark your calendars for that. Lastly, throughout April, there will be events that allow people to get a hands-on experience with the Switch 2 in 3 different cities across America. Toronto was also mentioned, taking place the same time as the Dallas event, and these are likely taking place all over the world. These are just the ones in my country. Those 3 are New York from April 4th to the 6th, Los Angeles from April 11th to the 13th, and Dallas from April 25th to the 27th. Lastly, let's take a slightly deeper dive into the new Mario Kart, and just a few things that we can see from that small bit of footage. Firstly, you can see at the very start of the footage that there are 4 rows of 6 spots for racer starting positions, suggesting there is room for 24 racers in a race, further supported by the fact that there are more than 12 characters we see in that footage. The characters that I was able to make out are Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi, Peach, Toad, Daisy, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, Wario, Koopa Troopa, Pauline, Luigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Toadette, King Boo, Birdo, and Baby Rosalina. People have seemingly said the Earth are Lakitu, Shy Guy, and Monty Mole, but I haven't been able to clearly see those ones yet, though Nintendo fans are ravenous when it comes to this stuff, so I'm going to take their word for it. The style and look of certain gameplay mechanics, like the drifting, kinda gives me a Super Circuit-ish feeling, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's all my thoughts and feelings about the Switch 2 reveal trailer. Hope you guys enjoyed this sort of different video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.